What's up? My name is Victor Almanzar. I am an actor. I also go by the name of CAZIKE when I'm making music. I just want to share with you a little bit about how my day looks like when I'm creating. Okay, so I first start my day as soon as possible with my mental health, and that includes exercising and also meditations. Push-ups if I'm not working out that day, but if I am working out, I do weights. Then I go and I meditate. What I mean by meditation is I allow any thoughts to come into my mind and I observe them. Things that are bothering me, things that I'm happy about, things about my family, things about my work. And if there's something that's pressing, I write it down. I write it down and I take note of it. Something that I want to speak about, I write it down. Something that I want to create, I write it down. Something that I need to do, I write it down and I continue my meditation. Then it's time to work. I get on the zone. If I'm writing, I pick one of the projects that I'm working on and I sit down with it and I just push through it. Sometimes I don't have the inspiration or the motivation to write, but I just push through it. I start writing and eventually I'll find the flow. And if it's something about acting, if it's an audition that I have coming, I grab my sides and I read and I read and I read. I memorize my sides that way. I do script analysis, I do character analysis, and the more I am familiar with the script, the better I am in the audition. If I don't have an audition but I want to work on my acting, I grab a book and I read any methodology. Whether it's The Method, whether it's Meisner, whether it's Stella Adler, I just grab something and I read to keep myself sharp. If it's music, the first thing I do is get on the zone. I put a beat on and I listen. I try to understand what the music is trying to tell me, or if there's any pressing things that I want to speak about, I try to listen to the music with that in mind. Then it's time to create. So then I just stand up, I put the beat on, and I start creating music. Sometimes I write, sometimes I do it on the spot, punching myself in after a couple of verses. Once I'm done creating, I mix my songs, I make sure all the levels are right. Once I know all the levels are right, I'm done and I send it to mastering. Then it's time to release. I release the song as soon as possible if I feel like that song is ready. I listen to it a couple of times. If I feel like I want to release that song in this moment in time, I just release it and then I start creating content around that song. I pull the trigger fast and I release it. Like that, I don't second guess myself about the song that I made. I made the song for a reason. There was something inside of me that wanted to be expressed, so I expressed it. And then it's my duty to create content around it so people understand why I made that song. If it's something about writing, I try to set up a reading where I could get feedback with people that I trust. I do that through my communities, one of them being the Labyrinth Theater Company, the other one being the Actor Studio. If it's something about acting, I just put myself on tape and I send it to either my agency or my management and they'll let me know if I need to readjust anything. So there you go. That's what I do in one of the days that I'm trying to be creative. Peace. 1.